Hello and welcome to Lantern Lane Stories. Tonight's story is Trim, the Kitten Who Sailed the World. Good evening, little traveler. Tonight London is wrapped in soft river fog. The lamps along the Thames glow like warm yellow buttons. Boats rock at the docks. The old wood creaks like a slow lullaby. Tonight we are going to meet a tiny black cat who once sailed almost all the way around the world. His name was Trim, and every word of his story is true. It was the year 1799. A great wooden ship rocked gently on the dark green sea. Her name was the Reliance. She had cream sails as tall as a church. On her deck, a ship cat curled up beside a coil of warm rope. That quiet evening, 4 tiny kittens were born in the soft shadow of the captain's cabin. 3 were gray and sleepy, but one was as black as a polished button. He had 4 small white paws and a snowy white chest. A young officer crouched down. He had kind eyes and a soft brown coat. His name was Matthew Flinders. He looked at the smallest, blackest kitten. "Look at his little paws," he whispered. "So white, so neat, so trim." He smiled. "I shall call him Trim." The little kitten yawned a pink yawn. He tucked his nose under one soft paw. Outside, the salt wind hummed gently in the ropes. A wooden bell rang, ding-dong, ding-dong. Trim was home. Trim grew quickly. The sailors loved him at once. He learned to climb the rope ladders, paw over paw, all the way to the very top. The sailors below would whistle and clap. "Careful up there, little captain." He would peek down with eyes like 2 yellow lanterns. Then he would slide down again, smooth as warm honey. Trim was clever. When the supper bell rang, he sat right beside the cook's elbow. The cook would chuckle into his beard. All right, all right." He would tear off a soft white piece of fish. Trim ate it slowly, one small bite at a time. At night, the dark ship was full of squeaks. Tiny gray mice tried to nibble the flour bags, but Trim hunted them, quiet as a shadow on velvet. By morning, the flour was safe and the bread smelled warm. One bright afternoon, something happened that the sailors talked about for years. Trim was walking along the high wooden rail. A great blue wave rocked the ship. Splash! Trim tumbled into the cold sea. The sailors gasped. Matthew shouted out, "Throw a rope, quick!" A long brown rope flew over the side, and there was little Trim paddling fast with all 4 white paws, his small head bobbing like a black apple. He swam right up to the rope. He held on tight with his teeth. The sailors pulled, gentle and slow, until Trim was back on the warm deck. He shook himself. He sneezed once. Then he licked one paw as if nothing had happened at all. Matthew laughed softly and stroked Trim's wet ears. "You are the bravest little officer on this whole ship." He wrote it down that night in a small leather notebook. Years passed. The Reliance came home to England. But Matthew Flinders had a very big dream. Far, far away on the other side of the world, there was a huge land called Australia. Almost no one had ever sailed all the way around its long, long coast. Matthew wanted to draw the very first map of it. He needed a new ship. He needed a brave crew. And of course, he needed Trim. In the year 1801, they set sail in a strong ship called the Investigator. Trim sat on Matthew's shoulder as the white cliffs of England slipped behind them. The waves were huge. The wind was loud as 100 whistles, but Trim only blinked, calm as a small black moon. For 2 long years, they sailed slowly around Australia. They saw silver fish leaping like little knives. They saw tall red rocks glowing in the morning sun. They saw long, golden beaches with no footprints at all. One quiet morning, the sailors saw something hopping along the shore. Tall and brown with big back legs. "A kangaroo?" someone whispered. Trim watched too, ears straight up, tail twitching like a soft question mark. Often, Matthew sat at his big wooden desk drawing the coast on a wide paper map. Trim would jump up, light as a feather, and curl on the warm corner of the paper. "Trim," Matthew would whisper, "you are sitting on a whole bay." Trim would purr. He did not mind at all. By the year 1803, Matthew Flinders had drawn the first full map of Australia, and a tiny black cat had been with him for every single mile. Many, many years later, Matthew Flinders sat by a window in a quiet house in London. Outside, the rain tapped softly on the glass. A kettle sang on the fire. He picked up his pen. He thought about his small friend Trim. Then he began to write. He wrote that Trim was the kindest, cleverest cat he had ever known. He wrote that Trim had sailed with him across the great oceans. He wrote about the climbing and the fishing and the brave swim home through the cold blue sea. It was a long, gentle letter, the very first one anyone had ever written about a cat. That letter is still kept safe today in a quiet library here in London. The pages are old and soft, like dry autumn leaves. Children sometimes peek at it through a clear glass case. They smile when they see his name. Trim, and far away in the sunny city of Sydney in Australia, something very special sits on a stone wall. It is a little bronze statue. A tall man stands looking out to sea. That is Captain Matthew Flinders. And right by his boots sits a tiny bronze cat. That is Trim. Every day, children walk past with their parents. They reach up on tiptoe. They give Trim's small nose a gentle rub. Hundreds of children, thousands of children, year after year after year. And so his tiny bronze nose has become as bright and shiny as a new copper coin. If you ever go to Sydney, you can rub his nose too. He will not mind. And if you ever come to London, you can stand by the River Thames and look out at the boats. The same dark river where, long, long ago, a little black kitten with 4 trim white paws sailed off to see the whole wide world. The fog along the Thames grows thicker. The lamps blink softly, one by one. Somewhere in a quiet library, an old letter sleeps inside a wooden drawer. Somewhere in Sydney, a small bronze nose shines under a soft white moon. A church bell rings far away. Bong, 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 and so London also slowly, slowly fell asleep. Good night.